Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. One decision, one night, and suddenly nothing between them will ever be the same again. Electra makes a bold, unexpected move. She chooses to spend the night with RJ. But what seems like a romantic step quickly turns into something deeper, filled with emotion, risk, and consequences that could shake not just their relationship, but everyone around them. Alright, let's slow this down and really feel what's happening here. Because this isn't just about one night, this is about everything that led up to it, and everything that's about to follow. If you have been paying attention, you already saw this coming, but maybe not this soon. Archie and Electra didn't just suddenly get close overnight. No, this has been building slowly. The kind of slow burn where it's in the way they look at each other, the way conversations linger a little longer than they should, what the way walls start coming down without either of them even realizing it. And RJ, he comes from the Forrester family, a name that carries weight, power, expectations. That kind of environment doesn't just shape you, it pressures you, especially when it comes to love. Nothing is ever simple when your life is constantly being watched, judged, and measured. Then there is Electra. She's different. She brings something into Arj's life that he doesn't usually get: freedom, unpredictability, a sense of escape from all that pressure he's been carrying. With her, things don't feel calculated or controlled, they feel real. And if you have followed stories like this before, you already know this isn't casual. This isn't just two people passing time. There's something deeper forming here, something that's going to matter. Now let's talk about the moment that changed everything. Electra decides to stay the night with RJ. At first glance, it might seem simple, romantic even, but come on, in a world like this, nothing is ever just simple. Every choice has weight, every action sends ripples. This decision, it's not just about attraction, it's about trust, timing, courage. It's about choosing to follow your heart even when you know things could get complicated. And for Electra, this feels like a turning point. Maybe she's tired of holding herself back. Maybe she's done playing it safe. Or maybe, just maybe, she believes what she has with RJ is worth the risk. You know that moment in life where you have to choose? Do you protect yourself or do you go all in? That's exactly where she is. And she chooses. Now let's shift to RJ for a second. Because while this might look like a win for him, it's not that simple inside his head. RJ has always been thoughtful, grounded, connected to his family values. He's not reckless by nature, but feelings have a way of pulling even the most careful people into situations they didn't fully plan for. So, when Electra makes the choice, he's caught in this emotional mix. There is excitement, of course there is. Someone he cares about is choosing to be close to him. But there is also hesitation, because deep down he knows this changes things. This isn't just a moment. This is a step forward, and steps like this come with consequences. And if you have watched enough stories like this, you already know what's coming next. The family. Because in this world, nothing stays between two people for long. The moment the first family gets involved, everything becomes bigger, louder, more complicated. Imagine the reactions. Some people might worry. They will question Electra's intention, the timing, whether this relationship is even good for RJ. Others might start comparing it to past relationships, some that ended in heartbreak, others in betrayal. And once those opinions start flowing, there's no stopping them. What was once private becomes public, and that's when things really start to spiral. Now let's go back to that night itself, because there's something about it, a quietness that feels almost unreal. RJ's house is calm, peaceful, but if you have watched enough of these stories, you know that kind of peace never lasts. Electra being there is not longer just a thought or a possibility, it's real. And there's something deeply personal about choosing to stay that night. It's not just about being physically present, it's about letting your guard down, letting someone see you as you are, without defenses, without pretending. For RJ, this might feel like a dream, but also a responsibility, because this moment is built on trust. And for Electra, this is quite bravery. She's stepping into something unknown, guided more by feeling than logic. It's one of those moments that hits close to home. You know, like when you take a chance on someone even when you are not sure how it's going to end. But when comes the morning, and mornings, they change everything. The sunlight has a way of making things clearer or more confusing. What felt right in the stillness of the night can suddenly feel uncertain. Now the questions start. Do they wake up feeling closer than ever? Or do they start wondering if they moved too fast? RJ might begin thinking about his family, about how this looks, about whether he's ready for what comes next. And Electra, she might start questioning herself too. Was this the right step or the beginning of something complicated? And here's the thing, these aren't easy questions, they don't have simple answers. And if there's one thing we all know, secrets never stay hidden. No matter how private that night felt, the truth always finds a way out. Maybe someone notices a change in RJ, maybe Electra confides in the wrong person, or maybe, just maybe, someone sees something they weren't supposed to see. It always happens, and when it does, that's when conflict begins. Because once the family finds out, reactions are inevitable. Some will question Electra, some will worry about RJ, and none of it will stay quiet. Voices will rise, emotions will spill over, lines will be drawn. Electra will be tested. Will she stand by her decision or start to feel the pressure? RJ will be pulled in two directions, his feelings for Electra and his loyalty to his family. And that kind of tension, it doesn't resolve easily. But here's where it gets even deeper. This night, it could define their relationship. Moments like this either strengthen a bond or reveal the cracks in it. If they face what comes next with honesty, they could come out stronger than ever. But if doubt creeps in, if trust is shaken, if outside pressure becomes too much, they could drift apart. And that's why we are so invested. Because it's not just about them. It's about what they represent, the choices, the risks, the emotions they feel real. This moment is bigger than romance. It's about stepping out of comfort zones and dealing with the consequences of that courage. Electra represents bold emotional risk. RJ represents the balance between desire and responsibility. And the world around them represents pressure and judgment. What makes this powerful is that no one is completely right or wrong. They're just human, making choices, dealing with feelings, and learning in real time. And that's why it hits so hard. Honestly, I respect Electra's decision. It takes guts to stop holding back and actually follow your feelings. But at the same time, I can't ignore how risky it is. Because sometimes, when you move forward emotionally, you don't just affect yourself, you affect everyone connected to you. RJ, on the other hand, is in a tough spot. He wants this clearly, but wanting something and being ready for it. Those are two very different things, and that's where things can either grow or fall apart. So now the big question is, what happens next? Does this night bring RJ and Electra closer than ever? Or does it open the door to conflict, doubt, and pressure from the outside? And most importantly, did they make the right choice? I want to hear from you. If you were in Electra's position, would you take that risk or would you hold back and protect yourself? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you love stories that deep dive into emotions like this, don't forget to like and subscribe because trust me, this story is just getting started.